Well, Duse Beatz started rapping back in 2006 and debuted officially in 2014 as a hip-hop producer and DJ. And he's on the line with us here just now. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Now, your latest project is called Westside Connected. What can you tell us about it?
What I could tell you was just, it's fire production on there. It's fire artists on there. It's a lot of upcoming West Coast artists up there that's on the album.
Yeah.
And it's just all around, it's just a solid album.
Yeah, this sounds exciting. Just looking at some of the artists you've got on here, I mean, on Spotify, there's a whole list of quite a few people on the one song. That's exciting. Makes the song sound alive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what made you want to collaborate with all these different people?
Well, a lot of them reached out to me. Shout out to my boy Drakeo the Ruler, RIP. But we basically started together. And, once a lot of artists heard me producing for him, they reached out to me. So it wasn't a problem getting them on a song.
Does it make it easier when you're collaborating with someone? Because maybe you've got less work to do?
Nah, I mean, it's 50-50, as far as the production side and the artist, it's a collaborative process. But I mean, overall, it's great.
And who has been, I know this is an impossible question to answer, but who has been your favourite person to work with on this album?
A lot of them, I didn't really get to work in the studio with them. It was more of like I sent them over the tracks and then they did the tracks and sent it back. And then also there was a couple of them that had already came out before, but I was just, it was supposed to be on my album then. That was, they were excited to drop it, so they dropped it, but I just happened to put it on my album. But what I would say is my favorite track would be Get It Poppin', featuring True Card, Drakeo the Ruler, Ralfy The Plug, and Catchy the Great.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that's got loads of artists on it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're recording this in separate locations, as you say, you send the stuff and they record it, how does that work? Because sometimes in rap songs, if there's more than one rapper on it, then they're kind of having a conversation with each other. Were you able to do that still, or did you not do that in your songs?
No, not really. It was more like they were in the studio. So like, for example, that song, they were all in the studio together. True Card, Drakeo, Ralfy, and Catchy, they were all in the studio together, and they knocked that track out. And RIP to Drakeo, before he passed, they ended up sending me the song. And and we got a whole lot of songs still that hasn't dropped yet that we waiting to drop.
How many have you got?
We got at least I said we at least got 10 to 15 still.
Ooh, that's a lot. So that's like a whole album, maybe 2 albums.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When are you thinking of releasing them?
I don't know. Is because right now, since he passed away, his estate is running things. So really, you got to get, once something like that happens, you have to get permission from the estate and all that stuff like that. So it's kind of like a waiting process, but I'm sure soon, once we get everything figured out, those tracks definitely will be dropping, because we got one, featuring I Swear Vezo and Money Man. Like we got some big ones.
That estate thing sounds like a headache that not many people would want to be involved in, but we're looking forward to hearing the songs when they do come out.
Oh yeah.
So who would you say has inspired you musically over the years?
I would say mostly like Bay Area producers like EA Skis one, Sam Bostic's one, LA producers like Battle Cat, Dr. Dre, those were inspirations to me. But then if you go to the newer generation, I would say somebody like DJ Mustard, who I kind of tailored my sound after, and just evolved it.
You started rapping in 2006. When was your first project released?
I think I want to say it was around like 2010.
So how come it took you about 4 years?
Because I wanted to make sure I was I wanted to make sure I was good first, you know. I dropped little songs here and there, but you know, before I did an album, I wanted to make sure I was like, you know, I was solid at rapping. And it's still like, you know, it still took me years after that to, you know, finally find my voice. But once I found my voice, it was kind of like I was just losing interest in being a rapper, and I wanted to be more behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's been 12 years now, of course, since 2010.
Yeah.
For those that are good at maths. So looking back, would you still say that you were good then? Or I'm guessing you've improved, but do you think you were good enough to have came out with your album then?
Not in 2010. I'd be like, man, I was trash, to be honest. But I think when I won my last project that I did drop it. But I would say that one, I definitely had found my voice, and I say I like that version of me more than the 2010 version, which was the last one was around 2014.
Now, of course, you're mainly working as a producer and DJ and behind the scenes now. Is that quite fun to do?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love just making beats. You know, it's easier than ever now. You can see like the producer game is getting a little bit oversaturated now because it's so easy to make beats. But I love that in DJing because I know music. It's easy for me to know what songs to play for what crowd. So I love getting out there DJing for DJing for people, having them move to the music I'm making, and then also producing and, you know, finding new talent.
That must be so rewarding to see people enjoying your music firsthand.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. When you first started rapping, were you already a kind of producer in a way? Maybe you were producing your own stuff or just doing some kind of behind the scenes stuff on your own songs? Yes,
because around that time when I first started, it wasn't too many producers, but it was right before the whole SoundClick, the SoundClick genre came, where, you know, there was these producers who were selling beats on SoundClick. So it was only major producers. And, you know, back then the prices, you know, if you look at the history, the prices were in the 90s and the 2000s. Prices were going, you know, they were outrageous prices. Prices I couldn't afford at that time. I'm just in high school, you know, so I just what I did was I got back then it was called Fruity Loops. And I bought that, and then I bought a keyboard. It was a Phantom G6. Wow. And I just made beats myself. Tried to, you know, I made some slaps on there too. But yeah, that's what I had to do to have my own beats, because I just couldn't afford them.
Yeah. Are you still making your own beats these days, I take it?
Yeah, not for myself no more. but for other artists, I still do.
Yeah. And are you selling them for those ridiculous prices?
No. Those days are over. Unless you're, you know what I'm saying, unless you're a big producer like a Metro Boomin, you know, like that. You can sell, but I don't even think that he's getting outrageous prices, you know. Most of the time when you do those outrageous prices, it's really the label paying for them, so they have the budget to pay for them. But when you sell it to an independent artist, you're not going to get those prices. Like, you know, I seen an interview with Timbaland, and he said back in the days he was selling beats for $500,000 to $500,000 a track.
Wow. Yes, please. What are you working on at the moment? Have you got more songs and albums coming out?
Possibly. You know, just like I said, like with the music I have with Drakeo, we just got to wait for the estate to get an approval. But yeah, other than that, you know, I still make beats, and you know, I'm just looking for more upcoming artists that, you know, that like my style, and we can collab together. And so hopefully something new comes soon. Yeah,
hopefully. And in the meantime, where can we find your latest project, Westside Connected?
So you can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all those major outlets. You can go on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's on SoundCloud. You know, it's everywhere.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.